Here's a quick video to share a new feature added to Gerbil ESP32. A lot of my experimental machines use hobby servos for one or more of the axes. I had previously used a variety of machine-specific additions to the firmware. I decided to clean that up into a better solution that is extendable to all axes. So let's take a look at this feature. What I have here is a simple rig holding a stepper motor for the X, a standard servo for the Y, and a micro servo for the Z. I can move these axes using standard G-code commands. G0, X200 moves the stepper motor. There's X0. Going Y10, Y0 moves that one. Z10, Z0 moves that one. Now the two servos are mapped over a range of 0 to 20 for the range of the servo. So with the Z-axis, Z20 would move it the full range. If it's going the wrong way, I can use the $3 equals 4, which is the same type of command that reverses a stepper motor to change the direction. So now Z0 is at the top and Z20 is at the bottom. I'll return that to normal, Z0. Now the speed can be controlled through the settings. So my speed for Z is $112. If I change that to 200 and type Z20, you'll see it's going to go a lot slower than the previous 1,000. I'll return that to 1,000. Now you can calibrate the endpoints a little bit. If this isn't exactly where I want it to be, I can use the 102 setting in percent. So if I say $102 equals 90%, you'll see that it moves a little. $102 equals 105 would tweak it the other way. And you can also use the $132 to tweak the other endpoint. The same is true with any other axis you would use with a stepper. So now let's look at coordinating all the axes together. So if I do a move like G0, X300, Y 8, Z20, it's got to coordinate all these axes, speeds, and feeds. And it should start, each one should move at its own speed and distance and all end at the same time. That adds a tremendous amount of power to using servos, because now they are fully coordinated with the G-code. Using the feature is pretty easy. The first thing you do is define use ServoAxis in config.h. That turns on the system of mapping the servos to the stepper motors. Next, in CPUMap.h, you define pin numbers and PWM channel numbers for the servos. In this case, I'm defining a Y and a Z to be used with servos. You can also disable the pins that were previously used for the stepper motors of these axes. But if you don't disable them, they can still be used for stepper motors, so they would track or mirror what's going on with the servos. The last part is going to ServoAxis.cpp. This is where you can set options for the servos. The most important one is setting the range. Here I've mapped one to 0 millimeters to 20 millimeters for the range of the servo. You can also set the behavior during homing, when there's alarms, and what happens when the steppers are disabled. You don't have to define any of these options because there's all defaults for them. you can check the defaults in ServoAxis.h. I think this is going to bring a lot of power, control, and creativity to CNC machines. I'm looking forward to seeing what people come up with. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Thank you.